I wanted to make a video over our Romeo and Juliet key terms so that you know how each term is pronounced and also to give a better explanation if you're having a hard time understanding. So, the first term we have is a tragedy. A tragedy is a drama or a play, a movie that ends in a catastrophe, which is usually death, and usually death of the main character. Next, we have what we call a soliloquy. Again, this word is pronounced soliloquy. A soliloquy is a speech that's given by a character when they are alone on stage and they reveal what they're feeling or thinking for the audience to hear. As we know, a lot of times in books, it's easy to understand what a character is thinking or feeling because the narrator or author will tell us, but in plays we have to go off what they say or how they act. But if there's a soliloquy, they actually will reveal what they're thinking or feeling to the audience. Next, we have what we call the tragic hero. The tragic hero, the hero is usually the main or central character, and they usually fail or die due to their fatal flaw or a twist of fate at the end of the story. They usually have a high status, people love them and admire them, and they show great strength at the end. If you've seen the movie Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood's character is definitely our tragic hero. He kind of comes through and saves this immigrant family from a gang life or torment in the neighborhood, but in the end ends up getting killed in order to protect this family. So he would be our tragic hero. Next, we have the antagonist. Most of you should know this word already. Antagonist, again, anti, the force working against the main character. Like my pun, I said the force. You know, we have Darth Vader. If you understand it. And again, it doesn't have to always be a character, but a force that works against the main character. The protagonist. The protagonist is always the main character. Good or bad, the protagonist is our main character. An aside. We saw this word briefly when we were doing some of our star prep activities, but an aside is when a character makes a remark that other characters do not hear on stage to reveal their thoughts or feelings. If you ever watched the very first season of Sex and the City, Carrie, the girl in the picture, would speak directly into the camera, even when she was in a public place, but again, only the audience can hear it. The other characters do not. I know the characters like at Malcolm in the Middle do that. If you've seen the movie Deadpool, Deadpool will talk directly to the audience through the camera, but nobody else can hear what he's saying. That would be an aside when it comes in a drama or a play. Then we have what we call foils or character foils. Foils are two characters whose traits contrast or are very, very different. It's meant to display character traits in each character. As you can see from my photos, the top photo on the right, we have a tall, skinny guy and a short, fat guy trying to box. Those are character foils. Again, two characters that are opposite. Their character traits are very different, whether that be physical traits or personality traits. Dramatic irony. We've had this before. Simple. We know something the character doesn't. We see this in horror films all the time. We know the murderer is hanging out in the closet. The character has no idea, which builds that huge level of suspense because, again, we know something the character doesn't. Comic relief. All right, it's a humorous scene in a movie or in a play that lightens the serious mood. For example, some of us may have been to a funeral before and someone laughs or tells a joke. That's meant to lighten the mood of the serious or somber event. Again, it's called comic relief. The word allusion. We used this word when we did the Odyssey. It's a reference and a story the audience is already expected to know. This picture is from the movie Shrek. We know that Shrek is full of allusions because it alludes to other Disney stories that we already know, making it that much funnier. A pun. A joke used for comic effect, kind of like what I did with the antagonist slide, the force working against the main character with Darth Vader. Another example. At the petting zoo, I saw a sheep scratching itself. Turns out it had fleece. Fleece is a pun. It's a play on words on the word fleas, and that is what a pun is. Then we have a dramatic monologue. This is very similar to a soliloquy, except that it is a character reading a poem on stage addressing a silent audience. Again, they're revealing things on stage to a silent audience. And those are your terms.